This week, we got some Nintendo stealth drops, we almost lost the marketplace, and we have a super broken game. So let's just go ahead, together, as a people, and check it out! And welcome to another sensational Sunday. I'm Mike, and I'm back to talk about the gaming news. With all these games coming out, it's really felt like a Royal Rumble. And as a result, I missed the story last week, so we're going to talk about it now. And this is in fact Rumbleverse. Get it? I made a Royal Rumble reference. I like wrestling. So if you're not familiar, Rumbleverse is basically like Fortnite, but with wrestling instead of guns. And I'm not just saying that because it's a battle royale. It really looked and played a lot like Fortnite, just without the guns. I actually played quite a bit of this game because wrestling, so I'm surprised to find out it's shutting down so soon. And it seems like a lot of the major news sites didn't pick it up last week, which is probably a sign as to why it's shutting down. And this is happening a lot faster than most of the other shutdowns we talked about in the last few weeks. It's shutting down at the end of the month. I'll definitely hop in and play a few more games before it goes away completely. And it was a really fun game. It's a shame that it's shutting down, especially so soon, but this is due to the looming economic doom, and unfortunately we've been seeing a lot more games shut down recently and a bunch of people losing their jobs. So yeah, I'm a little late to this story, but I'm really gonna miss this game. You know what else people have missed? A Metroid Prime game. So while people have been waiting about 600 years for Metroid Prime 4 to come out, you know who you are. Nintendo decided to give the extremely thirsty Metroid fans a break and stealth drop Metroid Prime Remastered. Did you think Microsoft was the only one that could do a stealth drop? Nah. Nintendo got this. If you watched the Direct last week, they announced the game and released it digitally shortly after the show ended. The physical version of the game is going to release the 22nd, and it's only $40, which is surprising for Nintendo. I thought that they would go for the full $60, and I'm glad they didn't. Now, they also showed trailers for a bunch of games at the Direct, so check it out if you haven't. But the other major thing that they announced were the Game Boy games for Nintendo Switch Online. Now, of course, there's tier trickery involved. So the regular Nintendo Switch Online just gets Game Boy, and the expansion pass adds Game Boy Advance to that. But who cares about GBA? They have Tetris on the base tier. Tetris! It was the first game I ever played handheld, so I'm going to have to revisit it on the Switch. Now let's get to the important question. Did they Pokemon? And the answer is no. They didn't Pokemon, and I'm hoping to see some Pokemon games up there at some point. But considering how long those old games hold their value, I could see them making it an expansion pass exclusive, even for like Red, Blue, and Yellow, if they add them to the Nintendo Switch Online at all. Either way, it was a pretty exciting Direct, so go check it out if you missed it. But you know what's not exciting? A marketplace shutting down. So we may be coming upon the end of the Xbox 360. On February 2nd, a user on the site Reset Era noticed a message from Xbox support saying that they'll be closing down the 360 marketplace over the next year, so they encourage users to buy any games or DLC that they may want by May 2023. Now, Microsoft said that this was an error and they're not currently planning on shutting down the 360 store. Girl, let's just be honest here. How are they already going to have an article about the shutdown if they weren't already planning to do this anyway? If anything, this may have delayed it, but it's probably going to happen. They also announced a bunch of games on the marketplace would no longer be available to purchase. So yeah, it seems like the 360 store is close to shutting down. I'll give Microsoft credit since they did add as many games as possible to backwards compatibility. But once the 360 store goes offline, there'll be a bunch of games that'll be pretty much lost to time and that you won't be able to buy anymore. Even if they kept it around, there'll probably be things like licenses expiring that's going to force them to take games off of sale anyway. And I'm sure Sony will continue to run into the same thing with the PS3. They tried to shut down the store, but ended up not doing it due to backlash from the community. So we'll see how both Microsoft and Sony handle this when the time comes. I think overall Microsoft is in a better position just by doing a better job of bringing a lot of those games forward. But either way, it feels like the end is near for the 360 store. But you know it will not end anytime soon. That's the Division 2, and that's what we're talking about in our final story. I mean, really, it won't end because it can't. In fact, they can't do anything with the game because Ubisoft has reported that a developer error broke the game's build generation system, so they can't make any updates to the game until they figure out how to fix it. Now, originally, they weren't able to launch Season 11 or even extend the current season, but Ubisoft was able to roll out an emergency fix to now extend Season 10. They've delayed the next season, so it seems like they're still working through the issue. I just find this story weird just because this game isn't even new and they've done several updates prior to this with no issues. But it really goes to show you, I guess, it just takes one mistake to break a game to the point where you can't do anything with it. And I can't do anything else, so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here for the day. But let me know what you think down below. Are you gonna check out Rumbleverse before it shuts down at the end of the month? What was your favorite thing from the Nintendo Direct? And do you think it's too soon to say bye to the Xbox 360 Marketplace? Again, let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like, share, subscribe, and make sure to check out my video from Thursday where I checked out Hogwarts Legacy. Well, I didn't personally, Secret Gaming Man did. And always do at least 2 things at the same time. Peace.